Okay, so in episode 7 of Denim and Leather podcast, we have Alessandro Del Vecchio from Italy, from a bunch of famous great bands that I like and that a lot of people like. Thank you, Alessandro, for joining me.
You're welcome, absolutely, and thank you for having me. It's great that we finally can do this, and congrats on the show. It's going great. And I'm
Yeah,
so
thank
proud
you.
of you.
Yeah, it started pretty soon, back, like 2 months ago, and it's going pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome to my hotel room, which is, it's
Yeah.
kind of fancy.
Yeah, you're. By the way, you're not in Italy right now. You're in Germany.
Yeah, I'm in Germany for the Rock Meets Classic tour, and we literally finished rehearsals a couple of hours ago, and here's my room, and it's that's tour life.
Yeah.
The loneliness of the hotel rooms. And,
Yeah. Who are you? Who are you playing with there now?
it's
In the whole production.
Yeah, so I am one of the singers, and we have Gabriela Gunchikova on vocals as well, Peter Keller, and Sarah Fox, who are from Germany, and we're part of the choir with the band and the orchestra. The band members are Alex and Tom from Primal Fear and Alex Janssen from Primal Fear.
Okay.
So Alex Byron, Tom Naumann, Alex Janssen from Primal Fear, and it's a very great environment, and we're having great time. And the guests are Tarja Turunen from Nightwish,
Yeah.
us from Supertramp, and then we have Russ Ballard, Paul Shortino, which is gonna be amazing,
Wow, legends.
and Meteor and Robert Hart. So the cast is like impressive.
Yeah. That's a lot of legends that you mentioned there.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, this tour, this is my fourth tour, and it's unbelievable. I mean, the people you have, the possibility to share the stage with is incredible, and to just happen to sing with them and make music with them on such a great tour, big arenas, and it's fantastic.
Yeah. How many dates are you gonna have?
It's 10 shows, and almost there's more rehearsals than shows, because it's the full week of rehearsals and 10 shows. And sometimes the tours have been bigger or smaller, but this year's 10 shows and all packed arenas, and it's very cool.
Oh, that's unbelievable. Is that the same rock? That's the Rock Meets Classic, right? Or no?
Yeah, Rock Meets
Yeah.
Classic.
That was at Wacken one year, right?
Yeah, with Jolene Turner and Dee Snider, I think.
Yeah.
Wasn't part of that. Yeah, I joined. I think I joined 1 year later or something like that.
Yeah, I think 1 year was Joy Tempest from Europe, I think, yeah?
Yeah, and then, we've had Steve Lukather from Toto and Dom Felder from the Eagles, Rick Springfield, Ian Gillan, Francis Rossi, Gothard, Uriah Heep.
Oh, man.
Saga, Michael Sadler from Saga. It's great.
Unbelievable. You had Mark Stories from Crocus, I think.
Yeah, Mark Storace, and then they've had Jolene Turner, Alice Cooper. It's unbelievable. I mean, all the biggest names in rock and roll.
Yeah.
They have been there.
How does it feel to play with them, man?
Well, I always say, the other day I posted a story, and I always say that I remember, and I want it to be clear to myself when when I could only dream to do this, and now I'm here. So I see the path from being a kid in the 90s and go like, oh wow, I've been dreaming of something like this, and now being able to do this, it's fantastic. I'm grateful. I'm having a great time. Obviously, you have to be, competent and prepared and skilled to be in such a high valued environment. You have to be extremely good, and I don't want to pat myself my own back, but it takes you have to be good, but it's incredible. sometimes I'm like, wow. I mean,
But yeah,
like, even sometimes, you think it's like, you kind of get used to it, but every day I'm always like, oh yeah, let's make music again. It's fantastic. I mean, it's, top level. So it's fantastic.
yeah, it's unbelievable how you can go back and say to your young self where I'm now.
I mean, I'm proof that that hard work
Pays
pays
off.
off for sure.
Yeah,
But also that, yeah, I mean, life is, is really something really unexpected. Even if I could picture myself when I was as a teenager in love with music and dreaming of making music, I knew that, to be able to be at this level, I had to be good. So I had to put hard work, and I would like to go back and just, assure my own self from 94, 93, and say, well, it's all going to be good. And, and all the challenges, the odds, the difficulties, or the hard times, especially economically, in this business, it's all going to be it's all going to be good. And, sometimes I just look, today I was talking to, to Gabi and the girls, and the guys and the girls, and I was like, sometimes I just turn my back and I'm like, oh, I worked with so many people, but then it's the love for music that keeps me going. So, being here and being, like, I can only imagine the magic that is gonna happen when Tada's gonna come on stage, and Robert Todd and Paul Shortino. I mean, Paul Shortino, it's, to me, is one of the best vocal tones that ever graced
yeah,
the world, and to be able to hear that voice together with mine, it's, sometimes you have to go, pinch yourself and go like,
yeah. And you listened to him as a kid, and now you're playing with him. Yeah,
yeah, but it is, it's I don't know, it's sometimes it's hard to believe, but in some other cases you go like, well, but I have to earn it, and that's why it's great.
yeah,
That's why it's a great feeling, because there's so much hard work behind what you see, that 3 hours on stage. There's a whole life, there's
yeah,
45 years of dreams and striving for the
yeah,
best. So
yeah, yeah.
it's amazing. I mean, it's literally amazing.
What year you born? 80, around 80?
No, 79.
Oh, we're close. I'm 81.
Still young.
Yeah, I'm in the millennials. You're in the Gen X.
Yeah, I'm still in the 70s, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm 45 in less than 20 days, like on the 21st of April. So it's like,
Oh,
it's getting close.
yeah. Okay, bro. I wanted to start the conversation with you playing with. Knowing you from Hardline, Jorn Lande, and Vanden Plas now, But I learned about you later on. I mean, when you joined Hardline, I think, and that hit song that you did with them, Fever Dreams. That's that's one of the best in their catalog, and I'm a fan of Hardline. I'm a fan of Joely and of Axel Rudi Pell. I remember the moment when I heard the voice the first time when Masquerade Ball came out, and I bought that album, and that's when the first time I heard Johnny Joely, and that's like, man, I don't know. I started learning playing music because of those kind of bands, power heavy metal and stuff, And how did you get to play with Hardline?
I have to give kudos to Frontiers back then, because they asked me to write songs for Johnny Joely, and that turned into resurrecting Hardline. And Fever Dreams was the first song that I wrote for Johnny and for Hardline, and I'm very grateful that that song still lives today in the hearts of the fans. And it's crazy because such a simple song, and sometimes I go like, okay, it took so little time to write it. I did the demo and the arrangement and the writing probably in 2 hours max, and just send it out. And I was like, it's like make it or break it. Okay, just send it to Johnny and see what he says. And that was the beginning for me for Hardline. And it was again, it seems simple because you go like, okay, it took me 2 hours to write that song, but to get to write such a song in 2 hours, there's like million hours,
Yeah.
trying to improve working hard to improve your skills and developing your talent. Because I didn't write a song like that when I was 15. I had to live almost double my life at that time to get to write at that level.
Yeah.
And with Frontiers, I was just starting to work with them, and they were like, would you like to write a song for Johnny? And I sent Fever Dreams, and then that whole thing escalated into Resurrecting Hardline, me becoming a full-time member of the band and becoming the producer and songwriter with Johnny. So it's still here after 14 years. So it's incredible.
You're still playing with Hardline, right?
Yeah.
You're still a member. Yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
Are they still signed to Frontiers or no? No?
Oh, we're gone, and I'm gone, and life moves on, and Hardline, both Hardline and Jorn are not signed to Frontiers anymore.
Yeah.
And but Vanden Plas is signed to Frontiers, and Edge of Forever is still signed to Frontiers. So it's but I'm still a member of Hardline. Still fighting.
Yeah. Of course. I hope I will see Hardline anytime in the future, because I haven't seen them live. Your Hardline.
I think we're gonna announce the tour, the winter tour, like in a few weeks, and then hopefully we'll hit the road close to you so that we can meet in person, and you can see Hardline. The new lineup with Luca Princiotta and Marco Di Salvia and Anna Portolupi. Marco Di Salvia is a drummer to be seen live. It's like crazy, like Sultan Chaney level of craziness. And
Wait, is the same drummer from your other band, right?
Yeah, from Edge of Forever.
From Edge of Forever, yeah. He's great drummer. I saw some recordings when you recorded some album with Edge of Forever, and you posted some short clips from him in the studio. It was incredible.
He's mental. Is like one of the best drummers that you can find out there doing those kind of things, and he's been doing this for 20 plus years. And I remember we were kids, and I was like, oh my god, what a drummer. But then when I was looking for I think we started to work because of a record that I did with Ski Marcello and Tony Hart called Key of Hearts. And I was looking for a drummer, and I asked a friend, I said, but do you think Marco Di Salvia can do this? And he was like, yeah, you should call him, but I'm gonna call him first. So and that guy is Marco Sivo from Poison Rose, and he called him and he said, Ali's gonna call you, be good, don't exaggerate, don't do your thing. But then Marco is an eclectic drummer. He plays all these crazy cymbals and stuff. Almost like Terry Bozzio level of creativity. It goes outside of the box. So sometimes we have to put him on a leash, but the creativity is like beyond. It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, a very when I see him on the drums, when I saw him, it reminded me a little bit in the craziness of Taylor Hawkins from Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
I get that feeling.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
Where do you started with music pretty early, right? In your life?
Yeah, I was around 11, 12. And I've always loved music because my dad was a big Beatles, Jimi Hendrix, Genesis, and these kinds of bands from the 70s fan. And my favorite band when I was 5, my favorite record was Selling England by the Pound by Genesis. So that says a lot about how I grew up in a musical environment.
Yeah.
But I was like 11 or 12 that I heard for the first time Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. And I went like, what is this?
That's when it came out.
No. It came out in 76 and I've heard it in 90.
Oh, but no, sorry. I thought Innuendo. Yeah.
Yeah. First thing that
Bohemian. Yeah.
ever was Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah. Okay.
And
76. Yeah.
so my dad came home and I said, I want to be a musician. That's what I want to be in life. Because I was struck. You know, it was a religious experience for me to hear that kind of song for the first time. So my dad came home and I said, I want to be a musician. So the day after we went and bought a keyboard and I started to play. And back then in Italy, you couldn't find music sheets for, what I wanted to play, Queen and Dream Theater and Malmsteen and Deep Purple. So I started to, learn the songs by ear, just, trying to play that.
Yeah.
And then I started to go into Emerson, Lake and Palmer and Genesis and all the crazy prog stuff. And then Toto came, and then Journey and all of this. And then I was in all the bands. I was always doing backup vocals, and some started to say like, oh, maybe you should sing a song or two. And that's how I happened to develop, my voice as well. And but it all goes back to me being like 11 and 12, but going like this. I never had a B plan. I always wanted to make music. I said, I told myself and I told my parents, I was like, I want to do this. I mean, that's what makes me feel, and still today, the feeling that I get from music, it's still the same. I still like, I mean, you couldn't take everything away from me, but the music will always keep me alive. And but it's been like, 30 good years now making music. So it's
you started early 90s to play bands and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I remember when Images and Words came out. I mean, I was like, literally a kid. I remember when Double Eclipse from Hardline came out, and I remember the first time that I've heard Hardline, I think I was 13 or 14 or something like that, and I was like, what is this voice? I mean, and I mean, literally still today, Life's a Bitch, the drum intro, it's still kills me. And I became a Hardline fan like instantly. And to me, still today, Double Eclipse is on the top 10 best records ever done. And it's crazy how you listen to a record when you're a kid, and then somehow that feeling you become part of that. You become part of that story. Same thing for Deep Purple. When I heard for the first time the Coverdale and Hughes on California Jam from Deep Purple, I had a dream that night, and I literally dreamed of being on stage with Ian Pace and Glenn Hughes. And I woke up and I was like, oh, it's a crazy dream. And then, 10 years later, I was on tour with Ian Pace and I was on tour with Glenn Hughes. So, sometimes you really, if you really want to do something, you really have to go, beyond reality.
Yeah.
If you're envisioning, it's like being a painter. There's a white, empty canvas, white, thing, and you have to start using your imagination to go beyond, the time and space of our dimension, and start, going into this mind flow where you see something happening, and so this way you're getting closer and closer and more prepared Yeah, but the hardline thing is crazy because literally Double Eclipse was one of my still today one of my favorite records. And then now I'm part of the story of the band.
Yeah, it's
But Jorn, I mean, all of these artists that I've Steve Lucas or everyone that I've been working with, I was a fan.
yeah.
Always been a fan. I was
course.
like, I owe to them the fact that they made me the musician that I am.
Yeah.
Not just because I played or worked with them,
Yeah.
but because of all those hours spent into trying to understand the craft from those records. Especially back then in the 90s, you didn't have internet. If you wanted to learn something, you really had to go playing the CD or cassette or vinyl million times to understand how they were doing it. Like I remember the first time that I was learning Toto stuff, I was trying to understand. I was like, how is it the voicing on the chords? I was like, how can you do this? But there were no music sheets, so you had to go trying. And this way if you could grab and get to that level, you really had to dig deep into the music.
Yeah.
And I owe them everything because I literally spent the largest amount of time of my life into trying to understand the craft. And probably, it was meant to be. And, I put my energy into something that made me then work with them. So it's a crazy turn of events, but I really owe them everything.
And now you probably you live off that of your dream,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, every morning I wake up and I'm like, okay, it's still happening. It's not a dream. It's happening, and I'm very grateful for that.
Grateful for them, and grateful to your father as well as me. My father taught me the same kind of music. I know Pink Floyd from him, Black Sabbath, and Purple. He was a hippie in the early 70s, so he had all the records. When I was born, I grew up listening to that kind of music, Same.
I mean, like my dad, my mom, and my brother were vital to to me being who I am today. The support I've got from them and still today that I get from them, is undeniable. I mean, I really wish all musicians dreaming to be musicians to have parents and a family like that. That's understanding, that
Supportive.
that when you declare something like I want to be a musician, it is beyond the ordinary. So for a person to be able to reach that level, you need out of the ordinary amount of support. I mean, it would be too difficult. And again, I'm not coming from a rich family, so I didn't have the money to fly to America when I was a kid and go to Berkeley or MIT and do this kind of things that I would have loved to do back then. So all I had was my time, my kind of resilience against all the madness that was around and all the backlash that I was getting, and the support of my family. And I was like, okay, I have time, I have power of will, and I want to do this no matter the cost. Plus I have the back of my family, and they're gonna do this with me. And I took advantage of every single second. I didn't waste any second, especially back then. I was like, I only had one mission, which was making music.
What city are you from in Italy?
I close to Milano.
Okay.
Province is called Varese, which is like north of Milano, like 30 minutes.
So it's Toscana, close to Toscana.
No, it's Lombardia.
Lombardia, okay.
Yeah, Lombardia, very close to Switzerland, in between, almost
in the north. Yeah, in the north.
Very north. Yeah, very close to the Alps and the Lake region.
Awesome. So it's a small place, and from a small place you come to play uh, big names and big music. That's unbelievable.
I'm a country kid.
Yeah.
I'm like, my village where we live now is like 600 people, and the average age I think is like 75.
Okay.
And there's we all know each other. It's very small, and I always say I'm just an Italian immigrant from the countryside of Italy. That's all. Every time I get on a plane, go to Norway, to the US, to anywhere in the world, I just remind myself that I come from very humble origins.
Yeah. Yeah. Wanted to ask you about your earliest stuff that you made in the early 2000s with some more famous people in the business is Jeff Scott Soto, right?
The first one, like the first big name, was Andre Matos from Angra.
Oh, Angra. Okay.
Yeah, and I one day, it was my I think 22nd birthday. I got that day, the day of my birthday, I got a call from my friend Gianluca Ferro, who used to play with Time Machine, and he was like, we have this shows with Andre as a singer, and we need a keyboard player. Would you like to come? And I was like, what? Andre Matos? And that was the first thing. And still today, I'm like, getting shivers from just remembering that phone call. And then it was Jeff Scott Soto and Marcel Jacob with Edge of Forever. Then right after Edge of Forever, as soon as Edge of Forever was out, I got in touch with Matt Filippini, and we did all kinds of crazy names from Glenn Hughes, Ian Pace, Kermana Pease, Bernie Marsden, Ken Hensley, James Christian, Clive Bunker, and anyone from Tony Franklin, all the biggest names in hard rock, 70s and 80s hard rock. We worked with them. And so, but the first one is Andre Matos. So it was like
So with Andre, you played some Angra music on the.
No, we were doing the band was called Time Machine, and back then Andre was collaborating with Time Machine.
Okay.
Because they had the same label, and he was just out of Angra. And he was I remember when we met the first time, he played me the rough mixes of the first Shaman record. It was at that.
Yeah, Shaman with Roy Khan.
No, with Riccardo Confessori on drums. It was like half of Angra, when they disbanded.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. And, I remember Shaman. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was gigging with Time Machine, and the first show that we played, it was a festival, and it was Manowar set in, at that time, the words Guinness record for the loudest concert ever. Really crazy. Yeah. And then it was Symphony X. It was Running Wild, and I don't remember the other bands, but I do remember that I ended up going in Manowar's dressing room because we had, obviously we were a smaller band, but we didn't have toilets in our dressing room.
Yeah.
And we just knocked on another dressing room, and it was Manowar's dressing room, and Joey DiMaio said, "Go guys, use it. What is ours is yours." And but back in 2002 or 2003, I should check, but it's a long time ago. I think it's 2002.
I had a great moment like that. Us with my band, we opened for Judas Priest and Halloween in 2015, and we had only our backstage was just across Halloween's, and we had only drinks, only beer, and they had everything, like catering, like everything, and they saw us from across the rooms, and we were just drinking and no food, and some of the guys, I don't know who it was, Andy Darius or someone, was like, "Come here, come join us," and we were like, "Fuck." We were learning to play music in early 2000s on their albums, you know,
Yeah.
and they're like drinking together now with us and eating, you know. It was incredible. It's
Yeah,
the same.
yeah. I mean, I remember, you know, and some friends of mine the day after I was like, guys. I mean, obviously we played in front of 30,000 people, fantastic, Andre Matos and this and that, but I freaking I peed on, you know, in the same bathroom as freaking Joy DiMaggio. I said, yes. I just, you know, and you know, and it was a great experience.
Yeah, yeah, that's unforgettable, you know.
Yeah.
How did you get involved with Frontiers Records after all that years of playing with different?
Yeah. So when we I think the first time we talked was when we had this demo for the first record with Edge of Forever, and we sent them the demo, but we signed with MTM Music, which at that time was bigger than Frontiers.
Yeah.
It was like their competitor, and we signed with MTM Music, and then we kept in touch. And in 2011, they were distributing Lionville, and I produced the first two records of Lionville. And they just wrote Elio Bordi, former label manager of Frontiers, and I said, Elio, do you think Frontiers, you know, would like to you know, use, or are they in need of my services as a songwriter or producer? And it was like, yeah, just send me a song for, you know, maybe think about a song for Robbie LeBlanc. And I sent Road to Nowhere, which became the first single of Find Me, so the song that started Find Me. And it was like, okay, you write another one. And then I wrote another one, and then I wrote 6 songs for Find Me. And then they asked for a song for Johnny Gioeli. But that's how I got started. And then you know, we started, you know, this sort of partnership and very close relationship. And yeah, that's how it started. I was just, you know, humble Italian immigrant from the countryside, just writing, you know, that maybe you guys need songs.
But not only songs, but also you produced albums. I mean, musically, like you recorded, you produced everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you started like a writer, and then you started mixing, mastering, and.
I said maybe you need songs, because that's what I was always capable of doing.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that they would need a producer. So, and but you know, they knew my productions already because of Shining Line and Lionville and other records. And Edge of Forever the third record of Edge of Forever came out, and Moonstone Project came out. So I mean, they heard me work already with Lars Safsun from Work of Art, with Glenn Hughes and Ian Pace and all these guys. And you know, and that's how it started. They were like, you know, would you like to, you know, write a song for Johnny Gioeli? I wrote the song. Johnny liked it. They liked it, and they were like, but would you also like to produce this record? I was like, yeah, obviously. That's how I started.
Amazing. And you produced over how much? Over tens
My
of
whole life?
Yeah, like 100 albums maybe.
Oh my God. I think, you know, production wise, it must be over 250 records.
Oh man.
Songs that I've written and have been published, it's more than 900. And it's crazy.
Yeah.
And I think 50 or something like that records mixed and mastered.
Yeah.
And as a singer or keyboard player, I think I have like, and producer, I think I have 3,000 credits. Like,
Wow.
you know, like
Like
yeah,
a guest,
songs.
like a guest somewhere or somewhere like
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
or records that, like my own bands, but
Yeah.
as credit as keyboard player or singer or producer. I think it's over 3,000 songs.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
And-
impressive.
Impressive, and everything is out, and everyone is listening. What's your biggest hit, by the way, that you did?
I think it's definitely Back on My Trail from
Yeah.
Revolution Saints, first single of Revolution Saints. That
It's the most listened one and the most played
Yeah.
one and everything. Yeah.
I think it's like 6 million or close to 6 million on YouTube.
Awesome.
And it's definitely the top 5 songs are Back on My Trail, Revolution Saints, Fever Dreams. Then it's Edge of Tomorrow for Sunstorm. Then it's When the Heartache is Gone, Revolution Saints. And I think it's Turn Back Time by Revolution Saints. All songs that I wrote
So,
or wrote. Yeah.
so 3 songs from Revolution Saints in the top 5. Yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
Great band. We talked with Joel about before our episode came out a few days ago, and it was incredible talk. And we talked a little bit about Revolution Saints. Yeah,
Joel is, besides being a really great cat, like a great person,
yeah,
but musically, oh my God. And I think, in all honesty, I think what he does guitar-wise on the last 2 Revolution Saints records, it's just mind-blowing. The level, the solos, the melodies, the way he's able to wail, with the guitar. Like,
it looks like he makes it look simple, and it's not simple.
It's not. Yeah, it feels. It's like Neil Sean.
Yeah.
It feels simple, but then when you start trying to do that,
Yeah.
then you go like, a whole different scenario unfolds of the level of, oh my God, he's really good. I mean, there's a reason why he's in Whitesnake and Trans-Siberian Orchestra and all this Cher. I mean, he's the freaking guitar player of Cher. It's like, it's once you play with Cher, it's like, is there anything?
Top. On the top. Yeah. True. Why did you end your collaboration with Frontiers?
A few weeks ago, like officially.
No. But why?
Okay. So the main reason is personal issues.
Okay.
But I truly believe that the problems that we might have had really came because the musical relationship was over.
Artistic, yeah.
Yeah, we did so many things that it's like, the best love story that really gets to the point that the love is so big that it's all gone.
Yeah.
And I think at one point we stopped having this, mutual give and take, and it was over. And I honestly think it's better for both entities that we just went separate ways, and they wish them the best. But I'm very happy to be out and to be again, working only for myself, and being able to pick what I want to do and get a better advantage of my time instead of cashing in for a label, and which is great.
Yeah.
Very grateful for all we've done. I mean, I've had a #1 on Billboard and multiple top 20s with them. It's fantastic. It's great, but it was over, and at some point we have to just go like, okay, all the signs are there. It's over. And we just have to say, like, goodbye, and whatever whatever, even if the course might have been horrible to get to that decision, but it was the best for both entities, and I'm super extremely happy to be out.
Yeah.
But but still grateful for all we've done.
Of course. Reminded me a little bit of when Dino Jelusik came out from Frontiers, and just it ended bad way there. With you, it was like a split. With Dino was like a court thing.
Yeah. Thank God we didn't get to that point. But I mean, but sometimes it's it's business. It's like you want to change your day job, and it's the same thing. Unfortunately, when there are deals in between and personal relationships that are entangled in the deals too, it becomes difficult, because some people in this business, they're not able to detach personal and business. And there's the music industry has always been about control. Like, I made you who you are.
Oh.
It's both ways. It's something that I've always hated of the music industry, is that, like, all labels are like, we made you who you are. No way. I made myself who I am, and we both worked, and you made yourselves and I made myself. And, for a certain period of time, we just joined forces. It was amazing, but it's not otherwise. I mean, like, if Frontiers would say, oh, we made you who you are, I could say, I made you who you are.
Yeah, true.
Today, it's both ways. If there's no understanding of that, it's wrong.
Yeah, because you made 3,000. I mean, not all, but a lot of hits for them, a lot of albums. Of course, I get it.
It's not just Frontiers. It's the music industry. The artists sometimes always have to bow, to whatever possibility comes to them. But we're the generators of those possibilities. I mean, I wrote the songs. Dino wrote the songs, and kudos to Frontiers to be able to foresee that Dino, myself, or whoever could be good investments.
True.
But the generators, the artists, the ones that are actually putting their heart and soul into this, is the artist. But again, I mean, I wish Frontiers, literally, I mean, if I see them become even better and bigger without me, I'm like, it's all good. I'm very happy for them. But it's it's just over, and I'm super clean about that. There's no I have zero personal attachment to that. I was out. I'm out. And it's like in a relationship, like a loving relationship. Yeah. Your ex-girlfriend then finds the right man and builds a family, whatever, and you just go like, okay, I'm happy for her, and same thing for me. I'm happy for them. I'm just happy not to be part of that path anymore, and I will build my own path, and they will build their own path.
That's the way to do it,
Yeah, I mean, it's but still, I mean, also on the other hand, I'm still with Vanden Plas, I'm still with Frontiers, and and Edge of Forever still on Frontiers. It's more the the close relationship for productions and songwriting that, in my opinion, was over. And so, I mean, we'll end up working, because lots of bands like Goldus or so many bands that I worked with are still signed to Frontiers. So it's not my thing against Frontiers.
Of course.
Simply that being in such a close relationship, or writing so many songs and producing so many records, it was just over. It was just time to let it go, and just go like, okay, it's not my thing anymore. My thing is Vanden Plas. My thing is like Hardline. My thing is Jorn. My thing is completely different. Just change of objectives, and and you just have to admit when it's over. Yeah.
Well, I'm happy for you because you feel very relieved and happy and stuff, you know.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's, and then I really believe that you better be going separate ways when things are not going the right way, even
yeah,
just an inch. And I mean, this life is too short to not be happy doing
yeah,
what you do, especially music. And I made a promise to myself: I want to make music only if it makes me happy. If it has to be horrible, I'm gonna be a freaking a monk. I want to be something else. I want to be a happy person. And I've worked too hard to be miserable trying to make things work when they don't work. And a door closes, and 20 million more can open, because
yeah,
life doesn't end when a
yeah,
relationship ends.
true.
And also, the music business is a vast business. It's not just AOR or hard rock, heavy metal. It's a million other things, and I'm proof of that, because I'm not just in one container. Now I'm embarking on a tour in the US with Project, doing prog, 70s
Yeah,
prog, and it's all different stuff from what I've done in the last 15 years. And Vanden Plas,
another
it's
prog band. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, I really see music as my escape from reality, not another prison from reality. And I just want to be happy making music. And I'm sure that if you interviewed frontiers, they would be like, it's but better separated. I'm sure that they're happier,
yeah,
without me there. And same thing for me. And it's not that I hate them. It's like I just want to do other things, which
of course.
we're not allowed if I work with them. So it's all good.
Yeah, that's it. That's the way to be, and be happy about it, and continue live your dream. You know.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
but that is, and this is my personal
mhm.
way of
Yeah,
seeing things in the music business. And but it's me. If you talk to many other musicians, they would have other ways. But I'm too, I really feel like we have a great limitation, which is time. Because I could be, obviously, hopefully not, but I could be gone tomorrow. And if I know that, memento mori, death is the only certainty that we have in life. My time could be, I don't know how much time do I have. I want to be happy.
yeah,
I want to leave this planet whenever the right time is, as a happy person. Zero regrets, zero remorses.
yeah,
And so I take sometimes difficult decisions. I mean, from the outside, it might have looked like, oh my God, Ale is
yeah.
losing all these great things. I'm not losing them. I'm just letting them go. I
True,
mean, they're not my thing anymore.
true.
I have other things. I have
Get it.
million other things. I have
Yeah,
so much more music to make. And the world is full of possibilities. It's just, it's back to me to create them. And, I've always tried to be a, a, a great musician to work with, great producer to work with. And I hope that I planted the right seeds, and I can, get some
continue do it. Yeah, yeah. With some of the same artists and with some new, of course.
new. I mean, who knows what the future can bring? It's
Yeah,
the beauty of life, and the beauty of getting back, on having that kind of mindset where certainty is not in equation anymore. It's like, okay, you know
yeah,
let's open the doors again. But then,
yeah.
rock mix classic comes, and project, and this and that. It's
It's happening. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, I'm a firm believer that if you throw out, flash out the
yeah,
the right stuff, it will come back.
Of
You
course.
know, it doesn't matter when, but it will be the right time, and it will come back. And
True.
life goes on. And even if, I always say that, even if tomorrow my little castle of sand with all everything I've done finishes, there is still there's still so much music that I could even only dream of making, that it's out there, and I've touched people's life, and
Yeah.
I have I have played for thousands of people, and my music is there, and it's part of other people's life, and
It will live on. It will be a legacy and everything. Yeah.
that is the only thing that I know, that I own. It's not who I made the music with, it's what happened to the people that got in touch with that music. And it is something that it needs to be in the right perspective, and that's all that matters. I mean, money, whatever else and material things that you get from making music, it's just optional. It's just the result of different combinations for what you create with music. What happens when people push play, on Fever Dreams? That's what matters. That even in the smallest song and lesser known song that I've ever done,
Yeah.
even if it's just one person, that's all that matters. You touch that person, and time and space will be different forever for that person and for yourself.
Yep. Like the butterfly effect.
Absolutely, and that's what matters at the end, because and then we're not who we worked with. We're just ourselves, and you can be the most known musician, but if you don't own and are grateful about the fact that we're changing time and space and dimensions thanks to music, you're making it from the wrong perspective. And also, I mean, what made you want to become a musician? I wanted to become a musician because I got that, I felt that emotion and those feelings from music, and that's all that matters. I mean, like, there's nothing else, because money come and go, and
It touched your spirit. It's like I don't know. It's like an internal thing.
I mean, and this kind of philosophy also helped me being grounded,
Yeah.
and being with my feet on the ground, but also it helps me understand difficulties of such a tough business like music business. It makes me understand that when it's time to go, it's time to go, because it's the music industry is not different than freaking car industry.
Yeah.
It's a business. It's not what really matters. It's just the business side of it, but the music side of it. That's why I don't want to take anything away from Frontiers, but the creators, who is able to transcend time and space and dimensions with music. It's musicians, it's artists.
Yep.
When you write a book, it's not about the publisher, it's about what you wrote.
True.
And then obviously you bow to the help of a publisher or of a record company that's delivering to the masses what you do. It's the creation, the fundamental basis of everything, and the reason why we're talking today, it's because of the creation of music. It's
because I got touched by something that you made,
Yeah.
And it turned me to your music, and that's why I got in touch with you. We are friends on Facebook for years, but we used to chat a little bit, But now it's the right time to do this this conversation. It's
Absolutely, yes.
yeah, it's like you said, the time comes for everything.
Yeah, I mean, and sometimes we especially in music, we tend to believe like, why this is not happening. Honestly, there's no other time than when the right time comes, because there's so many factors involved, and it happens when it has to happen, and it's not in our control. But honestly, I mean, I think this kind of philosophy helped me being sane in this business, being
Yeah.
able to breathe and be like, it's all good. It's tough, because it's tough. I mean, life is tough.
Yeah, like you said once, PMA, positive mental attitude. You remember?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
at least for myself, I don't think there's any other way of doing things and facing life than just be constructive, because it's gonna be tough.
True.
I mean, like, the music industry is some of the most vile and tough and heartbreaking positions for an artist, because you're judged, you're screwed, you're abused every single day, just because you're exposing your real nature. You don't have any shields. You're just yourself and your music.
Yeah.
You're scanned from top of your head to your toes, and you're like, it's tough, it's horrible, but you have to be prepared to face it, because it's part of the process.
Yeah.
So you have to be prepared if something goes bad with your label, or with your band members, or your employer as an artist. You have to be prepared to for war, like the Stoics, they would say, prepare for war.
Yeah.
Because it will happen, and it
Yeah.
could be tomorrow, or it could be in 2 days, but you have to be prepared. You have to work in advance.
Yeah. That's a lot to take in for some people, but it's the right way. How did you wanted to ask you about how did you get involved with? I mean, how the guys started playing with you and recorded with the Big Deal with Surgeon. We're friends with Surgeon, and I've seen them. Not Big Deal, but Alogia, his previous band. I know Alogia a lot. We've met each other. We've seen Alogia for a couple of times, and great album that you made with the Big Deal, and you played in the band. Are you still in the band?
No, I'm not in the band.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I needed to start concentrating on few bands, and just do the
Okay.
right, and give myself the right time to be part of these bands. And unfortunately, the Big Deal, I couldn't give what the band needed. But I got in touch with Surgeon because one day I posted that I was looking for collaborations, and I was looking for songwriters and musicians and stuff like that. And Surgeon sent me a track with Anna and Nevena singing,
Okay, yeah.
and I was like, "What is this a band?" And it was like, "No, this is my wife and a friend of mine." I was like, "So your wife has this talent and your friend has this voice? I mean, we should really think differently." And I sent
Yeah.
the video to Frontiers, and that's how we let the ball roll, and they got signed. And I'm super happy about the record that we did. And I mastered their new record that they've been working on, and I think it's coming out later this year. And but that's how. And Surgeon and I, we come from the same time. So when we talk about bands, we're talking about those records from the 90s that we grew up on.
Yeah.
And I remember, I think we played in Greece, and we had like hours in the car together, and we were talking about Shadow Gallery and Riot and all these records that we
awesome.
used to, and Malmsteen and all these records. So I really bonded with Surgeon, and I love the guys and the girls. But unfortunately, I really, especially in this time of my life, I want to give 100% and beyond every single thing I do. I don't want to have to do anything else anymore in my life. I've been in that position, and I don't like it. I don't like to be like trying to chase time because you have to do things. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's not right, because you're not given. You don't have the time to develop things like that, and you suddenly become a weight for the band. And I said, guys, I'm not the right guy. I would love to be, but I'm not the right guy. And we go back to the letting go thing, and I'm just not the right guy. And then also it's been a little unfortunate with the Big Deal, because they also came in a moment where my health was like going down. And I mean, we were supposed to play on the Kiss Cruise, and I got in the hospital.
Yeah, they played, but you weren't there, right?
I wasn't there because I couldn't even travel.
What happened with your health? What happened back then?
Yeah, so I have. They discovered that I have this chronic kidney disease, which is like a genetic, disease that you're born with, and sometimes it develops very fast, and sometimes it's very slow. But I never drank, I never smoked, and I haven't been eating red meat for like 15 years now. So
you're vegan or no?
I'm vegan, yeah. And I slowed down the kidney issue, because these three things are the worst enemies for kidneys. But I started to have symptoms, and they couldn't understand what I had. And it took a year and a half before.
It was like back pain or something like that, yeah?
No, I didn't have any back pain. I just felt pain everywhere.
Oh.
Because if I had back pain, like kidney stone pain, they would have had at least a symptom. And it took a year and a half. I was tested for everything, like from anything from leukemia to cancer to so many things, because they couldn't understand, because I was like, I cannot breathe, I cannot get up from bed, I'm so tired, everything becomes difficult. And literally, I remember I did a Hardline tour, and then we got into the Skid Row tour with Edge of Forever, that I was doing just bed, stage, bed. I couldn't function, and I had to surrender and go like, I cannot fly to America, get a ship, and be in the middle of the ocean with a condition like this. If I'm in Europe, I just go to a hospital. If I'm in the freaking middle of the ocean, it's it's too tough, and I had to surrender to that. And but now my health is getting back to, it will never be normal again, but because I was very close to the dialysis, so I almost lost both of my kidneys, like a few months from a situation like that. But I've had my treatments, I got my operations, I still have to have other operations, but now it's much better. But this is also part of my mindset for this time. For myself, because I'm like, I saw it go. I was like, I don't think I cannot perform anymore like this. And I remember I was talking to my colleagues, like in Hardline and Just Forever, and I was like, guys, I don't think I can pull this off, and I think I'd better be home and just embrace the fact that I don't have the strength that I had before, until I'm not recovered. I don't think I can pull this off.
Yeah.
And but thank God they found kind of late, but they found in time what it was, and now I'm back on tour, and I'm
very,
still on treatment, so it's not gone. It will probably be solved in probably 2-3 years. It's a long process, and only time will tell me what will be left or not, and of strength and going back to who I was. But I'm still grateful that
yeah.
with all the difficulties, I'm still able to come on tour and kick ass and
rock out.
yeah, and do what I love.
I'm very happy that you found out and that you are maybe in therapy and stuff, but that's the way to do it, and great that you take care of your health. I'm not a smoker, by the way. Also, I've never smoked. I do drink a few beers and stuff, but that's about it. That I did. I never did drugs, never.
Good.
And
good for you. Good.
Yeah,
for you.
man. And I get it. I'm happy that you were taking care before,
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you about how did you started working with Jorn Lande? It's another legendary artist, especially in Europe. We all love Jorn, from his solo stuff, from Mark, also from stuff like that.
Yeah, Master Plan and
Master Plan, yeah.
it's incredible. Well, same thing as with Hardline. I mean, Frontiers put me in touch. I mean, Jorn was in need of a producer and a new partner as a songwriter and stuff like that. And Frontiers thought that we would have clicked, and we did. we have been working together since, I think it was 2014 that we started to work together. So it's like 10 years, and still here, still making records together. And I've always been a big Jorn fan. First time I've heard Jorn was because of the Snakes. So it's like 95, 96 or something like that. And then it was Millennium, and then it was Arc, and then it was his solo records, like his first solo record, Starfire. I still believe that that record is like still has so many gems, and completely it's gone, forgotten because it was the first record. But I always tell him, like, the Starfire version of his debut record is like, and still today, I mean, a blueprint in the sand. I mean, those incredible book. And then I mean, we clicked, and we're friends. I mean, we work together, but Jorn is a friend. I mean, we're family friends. Like it was. He's there for my kid. And we're close, and it's Jorn. I mean, it's the way he operates. It's the whole big family. He really takes care of these musicians. And if all we talked about the music industry, Jorn is the opposite. He's the kindest guy on earth, very supportive, and he's got this family feeling when you work with him.
Yeah,
there's never a problem. All is good, and
positive thinking also.
Yeah, and the music is fantastic, and as soon as you hear him sing,
man, what a voice! Yeah,
it's incredible.
Yeah, great. You guys, you both like a great pair, like a southern guy and a northern guy.
yeah. Crazy, how things work.
Interesting. Love it. I love your work with him and the stuff you put out, and hope you will in the future.
So I mean, we're working on a record right now, so it's.
Also, I loved you produced the Iconic record.
Yeah, I produced the record.
Iconic. It was one of the best stuff because it was like an all-star band. I love Michael Sweet. I love it was Joel Hoekstra was there.
Yeah.
It was
Marco Mendoza.
Nathan James. It was there, right? From Inglorious. It was a great singer.
Yeah.
Great singer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marco, and it was Tommy Aldridge, right?
Tommy Aldridge, yes.
Wow, man, what a band! Incredible.
Yeah.
And it was. It is. I wanted to see them live, but that's about it.
Who knows?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, what are your? We can finish up, man. We talked a lot, but I wanted to ask you about future plans.
So so the future plans are, as I said, I have this tour with Project, which is Jonathan Mover from Satriani, Alice Cooper, and Marillion, Mike Keneally from Devin Townsend, Frank Zappa, and Steve Vai.
Yeah.
And Ryo Komoto from Spock's Beard, and Pete Griffin from the Zappa band, and it's an incredible lineup. I mean, I'm like, wow. I mean, am I singing with these guys? And we have lots of shows around the world planned, which is great. And but in terms of records, I'm working on my it's an instrumental solo record that I'm working on, and crossing fingers, and in a very few weeks I can announce it. It's one of the best drummers in the world is playing drums, and an iconic. There's no guitars. It's just keyboards, Hammond organ, bass, and drums. It's crazy, but there's an iconic guitarist, like one of the best guitars in the world. Big friend of mine.
But it doesn't have which instrument? It has drums and bass and Hammond
and nothing else. It's just instrumental. Yeah, it's like
but without a guitar or with a guitar.
Without guitar.
Oh,
when
man.
you hear it, you will go like, "Oh, these songs don't need guitar." It's like Emerson, Lake and Palmer,
It was there was a band, I think Billy Sheehan had a band like that. Nielsen. It was a good band. It was interesting project.
Yeah, it's I think that came out like in 90 something or early 2000.
About 20 years ago, maybe earlier. Yeah.
John Novello and Billy Sheehan. Yeah, and
interesting project.
Yeah,
it reminded me a little bit on that, because you mentioned
a little bit like that, and it's a little bit like the band UK. There's lots of Rick Wakeman and Derek Sherinian and stuff like that. But it's like it's very unique.
I love the prog stuff from Rick Wakeman and stuff like. I mean, I love that stuff.
So that record will be myself as a keyboard player, like 100%.
Yeah.
And it's something that I wanted to do for years, and now it's the right time.
Yeah.
Got the freedom to do it, and I want to do it. And but literally, like the drummer and the guest guitarist are like, it's like, and the performances are like
the best.
Incredible. You'll see. It's very proud of that, and that is gonna be obviously a different kind of focus, but I really want to build that sort of instrumental, more technical kind of thing. And obviously we have Vanden Plas, the new album coming out on April 19th, and we're gonna play live. And Vanden Plas is one of my favorite bands, and they are the nicest people in the world.
I remember their albums since early 2000s. I started listening to some of them. Of course, it was prog metal for me. That was I'm not too much into the prog, but I loved it, and I started learning some stuff. Great band.
Yeah, it's a great band, and so we have the new record coming out very soon, and then it's Jorn, and we have shows and the new record, Heavy Rock Radio 3, coming out. Then we have Hardline. We have no plans for records as of now,
Yeah.
But we have a tour that we're gonna announce. So it's lots of things, and it's Edge Forever. It's still lots of things, but it's very, it's concentrated and very structured. But that's my these are my main focuses, and I have productions in the studio. I have this record that I'm working on with.
You have your studio, right?
Yeah, I have my own studio, and
Great.
packed with productions and mixes and stuff
Great.
like that. And obviously that's gonna stay. I have lots of songwriting sessions happening. Some are out of the box, and so I mean it's business as usual for me.
Yeah.
And but like in terms of my own priorities, it's gonna be only my bands. I'm not gonna jump around because it's already too much, but I'm gonna definitely play more live because of project, more live in the US, which is great. And so it's so already lots of stuff, probably more stuff than I still can handle, but I'll take a breath and make it work.
You'll do it. I mean,
Sure.
you have a great country like Italy to rest a little bit,
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, thank you for being my guest, and we had a lot of talk, great talk, and I hope when new things come, you'll come again in Denim and Leather podcast.
Anytime. Well, now it's been like 1 hour and 20 minutes or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
It's a lot. Next time it will be smaller, shorter, because probably I won't have so many things to say at this time.
Yeah, in the second. Yeah, in the second part.
I want to join you, and thank you for the opportunity to talk about. Sometimes it's also different things, so that's fantastic.
Yeah, I had a lot of other stuff and projects to ask you about, but in the future. Yeah, next time, man. Thank you, bro.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my man. Thank you.